It feels like you can't go anywhere these days without hearing about generative AI. And honestly, it feels like we're all just watching this massive, unstoppable thing unfold right before our eyes.
Yeah, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's like we're all on this runaway train, just rocketing forward. It's exciting for sure, but also kind of makes you a little nervous, right? But here's the thing. What if I told you that the real story, the one the actual data is telling us as of August 2025, is completely different? Because behind all that hype, there's a much more surprising and, frankly, way more interesting story playing out. Believe it or not, a lot of the AI tools that first blew our minds are actually losing steam. And that brings us to the first really big idea here. The Gen AI market, it's not one big thing anymore. It's splitting apart, diverging into two totally opposite directions. You could almost call it a tale of ice and fire. So on the ice side, you've got the stuff that's cooling off, general content creation. The tools that write your blog posts or whip up some cool images. But on the fire side, that's where things are getting really hot. We're talking about AI that's all about helping you make decisions. It seems the market is kind of over the initial novelty of just making stuff and is now looking for tools that help us actually get things done. And yeah, looking at this chart, it might be a little shocking. Traffic for a lot of the big names in writing and art AI is, well, it's going down. But hold on, this isn't the bubble bursting. It's more like a market correction. Think about it. There's user fatigue, tons of competition, and a really important shift where developers are just plugging directly into APIs. The market is just growing up. Okay, so if all that stuff is cooling down, the big question is, where's the fire? What's actually taking off in this new, smarter market? Well, the answer is pretty wild. Check this out. 90%. That's the growth just this year for travel AI. I mean, this whole category was basically nothing at the beginning of the year, and now it's one of the absolute fastest growing areas. This isn't just growth, it's a full-on rocket launch. So you've got to ask, why? Why travel AI? Because it's not just a fun little toy. It's a seriously powerful assistant. I mean, think about planning a trip. It's a total nightmare, right? You've got dozens of tabs open, comparing flights, hotels, everything. Travel AI swoops in and solves that super complex, high-stakes problem by optimizing the whole decision-making mess for you. It saves you actual time and stress, and that's a value you feel immediately. Okay, so this big split in the market sets the stage perfectly for what's happening next, the battle of the giants. We're talking about the big, general-purpose AIs, and for them, the game isn't about getting that first flashy headline anymore. Nope. Now it's all about strategy, survival, and a flat-out race to keep you coming back. And you can see all the different playbooks right here. You've got players like Grok and DeepSeek that had these explosive launches, total lightning in a bottle. But their problem is turning that initial curiosity into a real, lasting habit. It's what you might call a high open, low walk situation. Then you've got Gemini and Claude, who are playing the slow and steady game with sustained growth. And then, of course, there's the king of the hill, OpenAI. Now, it's super easy to look at OpenAI's numbers plateauing and think, oh, they've hit a wall. But that is absolutely the wrong way to look at it. When you're that massive, you just can't keep up that crazy percentage growth. Their strategy has totally shifted. They're not just hunting for new users anymore. They're building a fortress, a deep defensive moat, by focusing on enterprise clients and powerful APIs that weave their tech into everything else. So as these giants battle it out, they're sending huge shockwaves across, well, pretty much every industry. For traditional businesses, the question isn't if AI is coming for them anymore, it's how. And the data shows there are really two paths this can go down. You're either disrupted or you're empowered. And man, the numbers here are just stark. On one side, you've got industries getting completely disrupted. Think about search engines or online learning platforms. Their traffic has been hammered, some dropping over 60%. Why? Well, because a tool like ChatGPT just gives you the answer directly. You don't need to click through 10 blue links anymore. But then, on the other side, you have companies like Canva in the design space that are absolutely thriving, growing by over 20%. They haven't been replaced, they've been empowered. And this right here is the golden rule. The reason Canva is winning isn't because they slapped a shiny AI button on their homepage. No way. They wove AI deep into the very fabric of their workflow. It helps you create stuff, it suggests better layouts, it picks color palettes for you, it empowers you to be a better designer. It's a real lesson. If you just bolt AI on as a gimmick, people are going to see right through it. All of this brings us to what's next. The next big shift for AI is already happening. We're watching it evolve from being this fun content creator into a core productivity engine that's literally changing how professional work gets done. When most of us hear Gen AI, we still probably think of writing an email or making a cool picture. But the real growth, the real momentum, it's in stuff like code generation and workflow automation. Take a tool like N8N. It's seeing growth of over 50%. This is AI becoming a co-pilot and getting its hands dirty in the really complex, high-skill jobs.
So the obvious question is, are programmers about to be out of a job? The short answer is no. This isn't about job replacement, it's about job restructuring. Yeah, the repetitive entry-level coding stuff, that's probably going to get automated. But the value of a senior engineer who can design a complex system using these AI tools, that value is about to go through the roof. It's a co-pilot, not a replacement.
So when you take a step back and look at the whole picture, the hype cooling down, the rise of these decision-making tools, entire industries getting reshaped, you start to realize something. This whole AI wave, it's kind of like a mirror. It's just reflecting what we've always wanted, to be more efficient, more creative, and to make complex things simpler.
In the end, the companies that win are going to be the ones that really get the human needs driving all this data. But that leaves a much, much bigger question for all of us, for you. In this revolution of efficiency and creativity that AI is kicking off, how are we going to redefine our own value? That, I think, is the most important question of all.